The Kansas City Chiefs, perennial contenders in the AFC West, have made significant moves during the 2025 offseason to address roster weaknesses exposed in their Super Bowl LIX loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. With 9 consecutive AFC West titles and a reputation as the NFL's gold standard, the Chiefs' offseason strategy has been closely scrutinized, especially as division rivals, the Los Angeles Chargers, Denver Broncos, and Las Vegas Raiders, have also bolstered their rosters. This article examines the Chiefs' key offseason moves, their implications for the team, and how they position Kansas City in an increasingly competitive AFC West. One of the most shocking moves was trading guard Joe Thuney to the Chicago Bears. Thuney, a cornerstone of the Chiefs' offensive line, was moved to address salary cap constraints and acquire draft capital. His departure is a significant blow as the offensive line struggled in 2024, particularly at tackle, where Thuney was forced to play out of position. Analysts, including Thomas Valentine of Pro Football Focus, argue that losing Thuney could be too big of a blow for the Chiefs, even with the franchise tag applied to guard Trey Smith. The trade has raised questions about the Chiefs' ability to protect quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who was sacked a career-high number of times last season. To mitigate the loss of Thuney and address pass protection issues, the Chiefs signed left tackle Jalen Moore and are reportedly targeting another tackle in the 2025 NFL Draft. Moore's acquisition has drawn mixed reactions. Some executives applaud the Chiefs for taking a chance on a player with real league experience, while others, per Mike Sando of The Athletic, believe Moore's limitations may not yield the desired results. Despite these concerns, General Manager Brett Veach's focus on the offensive line signals a commitment to keeping Mahomes upright. On defense, the Chiefs added depth and experience. Defensive lineman Jerry Tillery, a former Charger with AFC West familiarity, was signed to bolster the defensive front. Tillery's addition is seen as a small but strategic move to maintain Kansas City's edge in the trenches, especially as rivals improve. Similarly, cornerback Christian Fulton was signed to a 2-year, $20 million deal to complement All-Pro Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson in the secondary. Fulton's signing is a fan favorite, addressing a need for depth and playmaking ability in the defensive backfield. The Chiefs prioritize retaining key contributors. Linebacker Nick Bolton, a playoff captain with over 100 tackles in 2024, was re-signed, solidifying the defense's core. Wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, who provided stability with 130 yards in a win over the Saints and 60 yards in the AFC Championship, also returned. Running back Kareem Hunt and safety Mike Edwards were brought back, maintaining continuity. These moves reflect Veach's strategy of balancing new additions with proven veterans. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, acquired mid-2024 from the Tennessee Titans, signed a 1-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. His departure leaves a gap in the receiving core, increasing reliance on Travis Kelce and younger receivers like Skyy Moore, who has shown promise in off-season training. The Chiefs may still pursue an elite wide receiver in the draft or free agency to elevate Mahomes' arsenal. To stay under the salary cap, the Chiefs restructured contracts for Mahomes and defensive tackle Chris Jones, creating financial flexibility. These moves allowed Kansas City to make targeted signings while retaining core players like Trey Smith and Bolton. The Chiefs' defense, already a strength under coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, benefits from Tillery's versatility and Fulton's ball skills. Retaining Bolton ensures leadership and tackling prowess in the linebacker core. Offensively, Mahomes and Kelsey remain the NFL's premier quarterback tight end duo, and Smith-Schuster's reliability provides a safety net. Restructuring contracts demonstrates savvy cap management, positioning the Chiefs to remain active in the draft and late free agency. The offensive line remains a concern. Trading Thuney and relying on Moore, whose fit is debated, could hinder pass protection, especially against improved AFC West pass rushers like the Chargers' Joey Bosa or the Raiders' Max Crosby. The loss of Hopkins exacerbates the need for a true WR1, as Kelsey's heavy usage last season highlighted receiver inconsistencies. These issues, exposed in the Super Bowl, must be addressed to maintain offensive dominance. Despite roster challenges, the Chiefs remain the team to beat. Mahomes, head coach Andy Reid, and a battle-tested core ensure a high floor, with ESPN and CBS Sports ranking Kansas City atop the AFC post-free agency. However, the margin for error is slimmer, and the upcoming draft will be critical for addressing offensive line and receiver needs. Off-season workout dates starting April 21st and OTAs in May and June will provide early glimpses of the revamped roster's cohesion. The AFC West is no longer the Chiefs' playground. Last season, the division sent 3 teams to the playoffs, and rivals have made bold moves in 2025. Los Angeles Chargers. Under Jim Harbaugh, the Chargers went 11-6 in 2024 and added weapons for Justin Herbert, narrowing the gap with Kansas City. Their aggressive offseason suggests a serious challenge for the division crown. Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders landed quarterback Geno Smith and running back Ashton Jeanty, addressing critical needs. Their premium draft picks and improving roster make them a dark horse, though they're not yet playoff ready. Denver Broncos. Denver drafted well, adding cornerback Jahdae Barron, and bolstered their defense with ex-49ers like Dre Greenlaw. While not at the Chiefs' level, their progress adds depth to the division. Posts on X reflect fan sentiment, with some praising the Chiefs' trench upgrades and others warning of stiffer competition. One user noted, Chiefs beefed up their trenches and snagged a great WR and LB in the last couple rounds. But another caution, Harbaugh's turning around the Chargers. Insane competition for the AFC West. The Chiefs' offseason moves maintain their status as favorites, but the AFC West is closing the gap. Losing Thuney weakens a critical area, and Moore's success is uncertain, potentially exposing Mahomes to pressure. Conversely, defensive additions like Tillery and Fulton align with Kansas City's identity as a balanced, physical team. The Chargers, with Herbert and Harbaugh, pose the biggest threat, while the Raiders and Broncos are building toward contention. Fox Sports argues that the Chiefs' 9-year division streak could end in 2025, citing Mahomes' Super Bowl struggles and rivals' improvements. However, Reid's track record, 161 wins since 2013, and Mahomes' brilliance make dethroning Kansas City a tall order. The Chiefs' ability to integrate new players and draft effectively will determine if they can secure a 10th straight AFC West title. The Kansas City Chiefs' 2025 offseason reflects a team in transition, balancing bold moves with calculated risks. Trading Thuney was a gamble, but signings like Moore, Tillery, and Fulton, alongside retaining Bolton and Smith-Schuster, show a commitment to addressing needs. In an AFC West growing more competitive, the Chiefs remain the benchmark, but their margin for error has shrunk. With Mahomes and Reid at the helm, Kansas City is poised for another deep playoff run, but the path to a 10th consecutive division title will be their toughest yet. The 2025 season promises a thrilling battle in the AFC West, with the Chiefs' offseason moves setting the stage for a defining campaign. The Kansas City Chiefs entered the 2025 offseason with a target on their back, not just as reigning Super Bowl champions, but as the team that has owned the AFC West for nearly a decade. With Patrick Mahomes still in his prime and Andy Reid at the helm, the Chiefs approached this offseason with a blend of aggressiveness and precision, aiming to both extend their dynasty and fend off a divisional field desperate to knock them off the throne. Their moves, and how they ripple across the AFC West, are setting the stage for another brutal fight in 2025. Locking down all-pro defensive tackle Chris Jones was priority one for Kansas City. Despite rumors of Jones testing free agency, the Chiefs secured him with a monster four-year deal worth $120 million. Jones has been the heartbeat of Steve Spagnuolo's defense, and his ability to disrupt both the run and pass keeps quarterbacks like Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, and Aiden O'Connell or whoever starts in Vegas up at night. Without Jones, the Chiefs' defense would have been vulnerable. With him, they remain a nightmare for offensive lines across the division. After last season's struggles at tackle, Kansas City wasted no time retooling. They signed veteran left tackle Tyron Smith from Dallas on a short-term deal and drafted a highly rated right tackle, Amari Thomas, in the first round. Protecting Mahomes is non-negotiable, and these moves could spell disaster for pass rushers like Max Crosby and Khalil Mack, who hope to feast on weaknesses. Mahomes getting even more time to throw. That's terrifying for every team in the West. The Chiefs also addressed their receiver room, signing Marquise Hollywood Brown away from Arizona. While Rashee Rice faces potential suspension following off-field issues, Brown's arrival gives Mahomes another blazing speedster who can stretch the field alongside Travis Kelce and rookie sensation Xavier Worthy. This move not only bolsters Kansas City's big play potential, but also forces AFC West defenses to pick their poison. Double Kelce and get burned deep, or respect the speed and watch Kelce dismantle you underneath. Kansas City's young secondary was already impressive, but they doubled down by signing free safety Justin Simmons after Denver surprisingly cut him for cap reasons. It's a devastating blow for the Broncos and a coup for Kansas City. Simmons brings leadership, range, and ball hawking ability, and now faces his old team twice a year. If you thought it was hard to pass against Kansas City last year, it's about to get even tougher. Sean Payton is retooling, but Denver is still searching for a long-term quarterback solution after moving on from Russell Wilson. Losing Justin Simmons to the Chiefs stings badly, not just because of his talent, but because it signals a shift. Denver isn't close to competing with Kansas City. Expect growing pains as the Broncos rebuild, and another rough season trying to chase Mahomes. The Chargers are entering a new era under Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh brings toughness, but he'll need time to rewire the Chargers' culture. Herbert is elite, but the Chargers' offensive line still has holes, and facing Chris Jones twice a year remains a nightmare scenario. On defense, even with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, the revamped Chiefs line will make getting to Mahomes even harder. The Chargers have hope long term, but right now the Chiefs have widened the gap. Vegas remains in flux at quarterback, with Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, and possibly a rookie battling for the job. Their defense, led by Max Crosby, is fierce, but the addition of Tyron Smith and Amari Thomas in KC means Crosby can't dominate matchups like he used to. Plus, Mahomes has historically torched the Raiders, and now he has even more firepower. The Raiders are gritty and improved, but they still look like they're fighting for a wild card, not a division crown. Every offseason, the rest of the AFC West seems to make splashy moves designed to catch Kansas City. But once again, the Chiefs stayed methodical, strategic, and deadly. They didn't just hold serve, they improved. They solidified their trenches. They added more speed at receiver. They stole a top defender from a rival. They extended a defensive cornerstone. For teams like the Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders, the message is clear. Kansas City isn't just a team to beat, they're pulling further away. The rest of the division might get better, but the Chiefs are already on a different level. And until proven otherwise, the AFC West is still Kansas City's kingdom. The Chiefs' busy offseason. A look at the key additions and subtractions to the Chiefs' roster. Analyzing the potential impact of these moves on the team's strengths and weaknesses. Highlighting the most significant signings, like the addition of a key defensive player. The impact on the AFC West. The Chiefs' revamped defense is likely to make a significant impact on their division rivals. The Chargers, Raiders, and Broncos are all facing challenges, making the Chiefs the favorites in the AFC West. The competition within the division is still tight, and there are opportunities for surprises, challenging the Chiefs' reign. The Chargers are looking to contend with their own strong roster and a talented quarterback. The Raiders are rebuilding under a new regime, but their offensive potential cannot be overlooked. The Broncos are hoping for a turnaround season with their new quarterback, but they face a challenging road ahead. The Chiefs' path to repeating. While the AFC West remains competitive, the Chiefs have the tools to win the division and advance deep into the playoffs. The key for the Chiefs will be maintaining their offensive firepower and improving their defense consistently. The Chiefs are the team to beat in the AFC West, but the division is far from a foregone conclusion. A look ahead. The rest of the season, previewing the key matchups and potential challenges the Chiefs will face throughout the season. Predicting how the Chiefs' offseason moves will play out in the regular season and playoffs. Summarize the Chiefs' outlook and their chances of winning the AFC West and reaching the Super Bowl.